Okay. And the last thing I need to do is read through our hearing script. It basically just covers the procedure for the hearing, and then we'll jump right into the presentation. This is the October 27th, 2021 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. My name is David Sturkey. I'm the Zoning Hearing Examiner for the City of Cincinnati, and I'll preside over this case. The case before us today is the ZH20210154. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the Zoning Hearing Examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing, unless a party has submitted evidence or testimony in the form of writing prior to this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If we did have anyone here from the public, they would have an opportunity to present after the applicant had presented its case. I'll give our zoning plans examiner, Doug Owen, an opportunity to provide any testimony that he would like. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to an application, the applicant shall have an opportunity to rebut that testimony and or argument offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make any closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. Mr. Meyer, so for our purposes here today, I'll give you an opportunity to tell me about the project, why you think the proposed variance is appropriate, and why I should grant the application. I'll give Doug an opportunity to weigh in on his end and add anything. And I'll give you an opportunity to respond to any of Doug's comments and make any final statements. Along the way, I may have a few questions. And then again, as soon as everything, all the presentations have been made, I'll close the hearing. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. I may also refuse to consider hearsay testimony or documents. That's generally evidence you want to introduce that consists of statements made by someone who's not present at this hearing. In the event of any technical difficulties or unforeseen circumstances with the video conferencing technology, I may continue or postpone this hearing. We'll do our best to troubleshoot those on the fly. But again, if there's something that we can't fix or prevents us from meaningfully going forward with the hearing, I may continue the hearing. Okay, last thing I need to do is just swear in all of our witnesses. So if you intend on providing any testimony here today, you must be sworn prior to that testimony. If you could raise your right hand. If you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I swear.
Okay, great. Thanks. All right, so Mr. Meyer, unless you have any questions, the floor is yours.
Okay, great. So, the port is coordinating with the city of Cincinnati and Hamilton County to demolish the Millennium properties at the on Elm Street between 5th and 6th, just across the street from the convention center. That demolition is well underway. I believe they're down to the 24th floor of the taller of the two towers. The project is scheduled to end in June. We are essentially on schedule. So, we're going a floor per week, a floor and a half per week, more or less. At the end of the project, we need to maintain an undeveloped site so that it may be developed by another developer in the future. And we do not have a specific, redevelopment plan fully enacted. That redevelopment plan will be done in coordination with the city and county and other stakeholders. So what we're requesting is relief from the 6-month limit to keep a site vacant. We provided a landscaping plan that we believe is consistent with with the zoning code. That's section 1411-51. That provides urban landscaping. It's sheet C102 or page 20 in the PDF set if you want to look at it. So based on that plan, we're requesting just a variance to keep that open beyond the maximum 180 days. That's really the essence of it. I'm happy to provide any additional feedback or respond to any questions.
Okay, great. So yeah, I'm just pulling up some of the case docs here. Gotcha. So Doug, did you review this as a variance?
No, Technically, I don't think it's a variance. It's just a review is required by the zoning hearing examiner based on the demolition standards in the DD district. So I don't think it's technically a variance or other form of relief. It just requires review by the ZHE.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that clarification. I'll make note of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That doesn't really change too much in terms of your presentation or what you provided so far, Mr. Meyer. Okay, Doug, anything you wanted to add on this?
No, not really. I mean, I think it's pretty well outlined in the staff report. You know, we reviewed it, and you know, it has a park-like feel, like the code requires. It's grassy area primarily, surrounded by a fence with some shrubs planted at the corners. So as far as we're concerned, it meets the requirements for that demolition standard. The only other thing that we added was the condition for the maintenance plan, that we would like to have that on file prior to the permit being closed.
Okay. So
That's not a problem at all.
Okay. So Doug, do you think they're complying with the 1411-51 requirements for landscape?
Yeah, basically, you know, the code basically says that if the site is not redeveloped within 180 days of the demolition, then they have to establish a park-like setting on the property and not use it for storage or anything like that. So based on the plans that they've provided us, we feel that they are doing that.
Okay, great. And Mr. Meyer, you said you don't have an objection to the condition that was part of the recommendation? None
whatsoever. We, you know, the port and land bank collectively maintain hundreds of parcels throughout Hamilton County. And so we have, you know, essentially maintenance plans for all of them. This one will require a more detailed maintenance plan, but we're happy to share that with the city.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. And so will the metal fencing, will that surround the entire property?
It will. We'll provide metal fencing. We've envisioned it's on the plans. It's noted as 6 foot high. We've envisioned, you know, a metal fencing, square pickets, probably 4 inches on center, bottom rail, top rail. Will surround the site, and there will be access points for the maintenance crew to get in and get out, and also to clear debris, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Are there any plans yet to redevelop the
site? Nothing concrete. You know, it's the short answer to your question is no. You know, that the bigger picture is to examine the redevelopment or some sort of expansion for the convention center. And then whatever should happen on this site shall be coordinated with those future plans. So maybe that means a hotel, maybe, you know, if the hotel goes elsewhere, maybe that means some other form of complex that would complement the expansion plans.
Okay. Give me one more second here. I just want to review one more thing.
Certainly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I have. Anything else you'd like to say, Mr. Meyer, in closing or otherwise before we adjourn here today?
No, other than that, I'm happy to work with you guys, happy to work with the city. You know, this is all part of the process to protect the public interest, and that's the port's goal as well. So whatever you guys need, happy to work with you.
Okay, great. So yeah, thank you for your time, your testimony here today. Based on that and based on the plan submitted, I'm going to approve this application. I need to formalize that approval in a written decision. That usually takes a couple weeks. Doesn't sound like that's going to be a problem timing wise, since you're still on the 24th floor.
Right. There's a little ways to go.
Yeah. Did you guys consider imploding it?
It's too close to the other building, particularly
Okay.
the 451 building. So the short answer is yes, we did look at that. It's just getting insurance. There is a glass canopy on the corner of the convention center. How would you protect that? Like that kind of thing. We did thoroughly explore that option.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So give me a couple of weeks. I'll have the decision to you. If you have any questions or would like a status update on the decision in the meantime, just let me know. But as soon as I finish those, I put them into a PDF and I email them to you and to Doug. And so you'll have it just moments after it's complete.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Okay, cool. Yeah, again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Thanks again for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to review all the paperwork we submitted. So
Sure, no problem.